Hello and welcome to our PS23 Response to Intervention Parent Workshop. This workshop was prepared and presented at the school by our English language learners teacher, Ms. Sanchez, and our special education liaison, Mr. Rosa. For those parents who were unable to attend, here is an online version. What is response to intervention? The word intervention, as an education term, means a teaching procedure that an educator can use to help a student who is struggling with a skill or a lesson in the classroom. Response to intervention is an approach used by educators to identify and support students with learning and behavior needs. The goal of response to intervention, or RTI, is to prevent failure and make all students successful learners. RTI is a proactive, multi-leveled, problem-solving approach that identifies general education students struggling in academic and behavioral areas early and provides them with systematically applied strategies and targeted instruction at varying levels of instruction. RTI encompasses frequent progress monitoring and applies student data for responsive decision-making. We at PS23 will provide the highest quality of instruction with enriched core curriculum, best practices, and intervention that will mirror the needs of the individual students based on data-driven decisions to enhance and reach their fullest potential. We will create a school-wide learning community and teacher-parent collaboration to enhance student performance in reading and math instruction. We will utilize progress monitoring, evaluate outcomes, and make decisions that will provide academic and behavioral support to meet all student needs. Think of the RTI framework as a pyramid. It's usually divided into 3 sections: base, middle, and top. The goal of RTI is to prevent failure and make all students successful learners. In Tier 1, core instruction, all students receive high-quality, scientifically based instruction. Students who are at risk are identified using universal screenings and, in some cases, results on state or district-wide tests. Tier 1 can include frequent progress monitoring of all students for a brief period. In Tier 2, targeted intervention, all students who are not making adequate progress in Tier 1 are provided with more intensive services and specialized intervention to remediate the deficit. Interventions are provided in small groups within or outside of the general classroom by the classroom teacher or a specialist. Progress will be monitored frequently, for example, once a week or once every 2 weeks, on targeted skills. Parents of students identified for Tier 2 intervention will be provided regular updates on their students' progress and how they can provide support. In Tier 3, intensive interventions and comprehensive evaluation, students who are showing little progress at the Tier 2 level of intervention are then considered for more intensive interventions as part of Tier 3. Students at this level are provided a more individualized, targeted intervention. Response to intervention occurs in an organized fashion. Here is an example of an assessment schedule that the school uses to assess, identify, and monitor our students. For example, you can see that assessment takes place in the fall from kindergarten through 5th grade students. There is progress monitoring, objectives, and expected results throughout the year. Let's go into detail and look at the components of RTI. No matter which process is being used by a school, it should include the following essential components. Core school-wide system. Instruction and supports provided for all students as the first step in promoting achievement and preventing student failure. This includes core reading curriculum, as well as the school-wide vocabulary acquisition series Wordily Wise, programmed into our weekly schedule. Wordily Wise is a series of workbooks for teaching spelling and vocabulary. Multi-tiered instruction, an approach to organizing instruction used to efficiently differentiate instruction for all students. It incorporates increasing intensities of instruction and support using specific research-based interventions matched to student need. Fidelity refers to the extent to which a process and/or an instruction are implemented as intended to maximize effectiveness. When checking for fidelity, we ask if each identified component of the process and/or instruction is evident in the process or instruction, implemented in the manner specified, and implemented to the degree specified. Intensity. Interventions can become more intense by changing the group size, the amount of time, and the curriculum or instruction used. Group size. Students who are significantly behind benefit from instruction in smaller groups. Smaller groups allow instruction to be tailored to the specific needs of the students, as well as more opportunities for practice and teacher feedback. Amount of time. When students are behind, they need more time engaged in instruction in order to catch up. The additional time may include reteaching or specialized curriculum or instruction matched to the needs of the student. Type of curriculum or instruction. Students who are not making progress may need curriculum or instruction designed to teach specific skills and strategies. The instruction provides opportunities for modeling, practice, and feedback, with an emphasis on mastery. What RTI do we have in place at PS23? We have school infrastructure and RTI vision statement and RTI team members and protocols. We have a universal screener called Dible's Next, a 5-year plan outline of RTI implementation. We have teacher training on RTI and the universal screening process. We have a benchmark assessment schedule, research-based materials to support students identified for Tier 1, 2, and 3 instruction. We have paraprofessionals trained in Dible's Next screening and progress monitoring, literacy intervention tools, Wonders Tier 2 and Tier 3 intervention activities, Foundations Double Dose Kindergarten to Grade 2. We have documentation of students' progress and monitoring, and parent notification letters notifying placement of Tier 1, 2, and 3, and intervention plans. Here are the components of RTI being implemented or to be implemented at PS23. The first is universal screening, which is to be implemented using Dible's Next. Dible's Next is an acronym for Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills. These are a set of procedures and measures developed and refined by educators over the past 4 decades for assessing the acquisition of early literacy skills from kindergarten through 6th grade. Strong Core Tier 1 is in full implementation at PS23. Core instruction is delivered to all students in the general education classroom. Strategic Targeted Intervention, Tier 2, is currently being implemented and improved. Strategic Targeted Intervention, Tier 2, is provided to support English language learners and students who are not showing sufficient progress on the skills and competencies measured. An explanation of differentiated instruction that address academic need, second language concerns, and cultural differences. Progress monitoring informs how at-risk students are responding to instruction. Progress monitoring is used to make educational decisions about changes in goals, instruction, and services, as well as to consider referrals for special education services. Here is our PS23 RTI team, composed of our principal, Selena Napolitano, a mix of general and specialized teachers, our guidance counselor, and paraprofessionals. If you would like more information about RTI at PS23, please contact your parent coordinator, Gigi Matthews, that's me, and I'll be happy to put you in touch with a member of our RTI team. Thank you for attending our online RTI workshop.